think there's a disconnect between the people behind the scenes and the artists or I'll say emerging creatives or professionals. The fact that I have a corporate background and like to be more specific, what does a corporate background means is that I had a government job in HR. I quit that job to go work in a nonprofit where I started as a production coordinator and eventually became operations lead and eventually a head of program. So I was developing entrepreneurship program for creatives, helping them kind of understand what was the industry that they were navigating in and how to position yourself as an entrepreneur. Because when you're an artist, you're not no longer today at least you're no longer just an artist. You're a machine. You're a corporation. You're a business. So how do you take that into consideration? How have you looked into the legal aspect, the finance, the branding, marketing aspect? How do you is there different ways for you to explore your career and your skills, not only being like an artist, but for example, as a musician, maybe you could play for bands on TV or like all those different like type of opportunities that you could look into. And so that background and especially like working with a lot of like different institutions, that background allowed me to understand what are the greater barriers that artists faced for them to have a sustainable career. And that friction comes from they want to create and people behind the scenes want to make these opportunities happen, but it has to come with a mindset of selling your talent. And I think that's the friction that artists they don't like to come to the realization. They don't want it's like they want to get paid, they want to make money, but they don't want to make money in ways that need to have their art being sold different ways. So, for example, artists forget a lot about like all the rights that they could have with placing their music either on the radio or on TV or et cetera, et cetera. It's like, oh, it's too much paperwork. But that paperwork is what allows you to have a sustainable career. So you need to reach out to the people that can help you have this in place so you can go from a side passion to actually having a career. So I think that's like the huge misconception that I would like, and I do my best every day to work against.
No, I love that you pointed that out. And I'm going to clip that piece right there and be like, okay, so for all you creators, sometimes it's even the established one too, where they still forget that because they're just stuck in a certain mindset that this has worked for the last 30 years and it's going to continue working. Not in the society, not in the economy, not in the generation that we're a part of now.
You just made me realize and reminded myself, but there's so many different elements that are important for an artist or like, yeah, I'll say an artist to be put in the front. And PR is one of those that like people tend to not talk about at all because they think like I have this persona, I have this way of presenting myself, this way of talking, I should be fine. But you know, um, all the great artists that they are looking at have PR training. Most of them have PR training. Most of them work with PR companies to be able to promote, whatever they got going on, to be able to prepare them to interview so that people can or their audience can connect with who they are on a more personal level. Like this is one of the aspects that I find like people don't talk about so much. So yeah, there's so many people that you should surround yourself with in order to have a sustainable career. But I feel like artists need to let go of that barrier that like, I don't need nobody or, it's my way or no way for you to sustain and succeed.